Hi there. So in this training, I'll be sharing how aerialists are structuring their training to become stronger and more confident in the air without spending all of their time conditioning on equipment. So first of all, hi, I'm Allie, your theory junkie and efficiency-obsessed coach. I've spent the last decade refining my teaching progressions, and now I'm ready to drop some knowledge bombs that will set you up for success. So this program is for you if you're struggling with structuring your own training and staying accountable. Maybe you've had success in the past, but inconsistent access to training space has made maintaining strength and technique really challenging. Maybe you don't have a coach and you're craving new content and breakdowns and you're tired of learning off of Instagram. You've already put in some time to take classes and learn from coaches in real life, and you have a foundation of skills that you've worked hard for and that you want to maintain. What you need is a sustainable way to maintain the skills you have and to ensure that when you do get in the air, your strength is accessible and you feel inspired and supported. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how to build strength and confidence in the air. At the end of this presentation, you'll have the opportunity to take action and make steps towards your circus goals. So how can you structure your training to become stronger and more confident in the air without spending all of your time conditioning on equipment? Just like Callie, who saw improvements within the first few weeks of CirquePlus. She says, "CirquePlus pushed me, giving my practice new structure and challenge. After only 3 weeks of CirquePlus, I'd started discovering new things my body could do. I'm crushing conditioning sets which used to crush me, and in the air I'm now executing moves from static instead of relying on momentum." So many other aerialists within our community have had similar results. We've been told that to progress at our art form, we need to spend hours training and conditioning on equipment, and that we won't see progress unless we work one-on-one with a coach, and that if we take a break for a pregnancy, an injury, or just life, how much of a struggle it will be to regain our strength after that break. And to be honest, I struggled also until I discovered the effectiveness of 30-minute CirquePlus conditioning workouts. If you're trying to fit in your training in between gigs, work, and family obligations, I know that your time is precious. We often don't have the time to be in the studio or the luxury of booking privates around our coach's schedule. Everything changed for me when I started incorporating 30-minute conditioning workouts to supplement my technique training, because then I was able to maintain my strength on my own time around my own schedule. So when I did find myself in the air, I felt strong and capable to just dance and create. But I remember those early days were rough. After I had my first baby, I was drowning in the pressures of being a new mom and running a business, having no time for myself, and not feeling confident with my body. I was so excited to get back to training after having Ollie, but I so vividly remember those first few sessions back and how demoralizing they were, and how I felt just a stranger in my own body. I had been an aerialist and coach for over a decade, and I was honestly asking myself if getting back in the air was worth the struggle of starting over. Without an accessible physical and creative outlet, I felt anxious and agitated. I craved to be back in the air, but was unable to balance training with my commitments and family. I ended up rallying. I wrote out circuits of conditioning for myself, mostly staying on the ground until I regained my strength. Creating that structure for myself made all the difference. 3 years later, when Annika was born, I craved a similar structure to return to training and had luck with some fitness apps. Something was missing though, and I remember as I was taking the baby for a walk in the redwoods and thinking, wouldn't it be great if there was an app like this but specific for aerialists? Something to provide a roadmap for conditioning to take the guesswork out of training. My issue was that with 2 small kids at home, my time on apparatus was super limited, and when I did find myself in the studio, as a studio owner, my time was always diverted to answering emails or vacuuming. I wanted to be able to train at home during nap times or whenever I could squeeze it in, but still feel that I was making progress towards building my strength in the air. So I began to adapt my circuit workouts to be more intentionally focused for my needs as an aerialist, and the results were amazing. I could never have imagined that at 6 months postpartum, I would be feeling strong and confident in the air again. I no longer felt anxious or embarrassed when students asked me to demonstrate moves in class. And I was relieved to discover that as my strength returned, muscle memory kicked in, and so many of the skills that I had worked so hard for and hadn't attempted in over a year were suddenly accessible again. My increased stamina allowed me to explore and create new choreography and share with my students again. And I was able to dance and find my flow on rope and fabric and truly enjoy my sessions in the air. I never could have imagined these results with this new approach to my training. So here's how it works. 3 quick and dirty workouts a week, bar, vertical, or just at home with a set of weights. Kind of like having aerial specific HIIT workouts. With this program, you're finally going to be able to have the strength and confidence to dive deeper into your aerial work and find your flow in the air. Wouldn't it be great if you felt confident walking into an aerial class or an open gym even after you've taken a break? And how relieved would you feel knowing that you are maintaining the strength and skills that you've worked so hard for even when life gets busy? How excited would you be to use your time in the air being creative and working on what you're actually passionate about, instead of feeling limited to beginner content and the basics? So this is Luella, and she was able to maintain her aerial strength while in quarantine in early 2020. Can you imagine the results that you might have in 6 weeks and beyond if you committed to the program? How would you feel if in 6 weeks you had more skills in the air feeling accessible? Luella says, I had an amazing time on the program. It was specific enough to be really helpful, and it was quick enough to do even while your kids are watching TV. This was designed for aerialists by an aerialist, and it really did help me. I do have access to my training space now, and I am pleased by how little strength I lost while in quarantine. What's great about CirquePlus conditioning is that it gives you the tools you need to be successful. Workout options give you the flexibility to maintain consistency with your workouts, so if you can't get to the studio one day, you have that at-home option. This allows you to maintain forward momentum towards reaching your goals and avoiding that scenario where a missed day becomes a missed week and that snowballs into a training slump that can be so hard to get out of. We all have to start somewhere, and sometimes taking that first step is the hardest part. Once we generate that little bit of forward momentum, it's easier to maintain consistency. This program creates that habit. And the truth is, every CirquePlus workout you do, even though they're only 30 to 40 minutes long, is getting you closer to your goal of feeling stronger and more confident in the air. Are you excited about what we just spoke about? Do you feel that this program could help provide the structure you need to reach your goals? Would you like me to share the method I use to help aerialists like yourself implement this method of training? If the answer is yes, I'm happy to share with you the Vertical Breakthrough System. So the backbone of the Vertical Breakthrough System is the CirquePlus 6-week challenge. The challenge follows the CirquePlus method, which is a unique system to facilitate structured training even if you don't have consistent access to equipment to build and maintain that aerial-specific strength. Here's how it works. Like I said, the goal is to do 3 workouts of CirquePlus conditioning each week, and you can choose from the library of at-home bar or vertical workouts depending on what equipment you have access to. Each week you'll be prompted to fill out an accountability form to track your progress. So many aerialists have seen incredible results with this 6-week program. It's a great place to begin or just to kickstart your training again after a break. Imagine that in 6 weeks, you could be my next CirquePlus success story. You may be asking yourself if CirquePlus is right for you. Let's hear what Janet has to say about her experience.
Hi, this is Janet, and this is my review for the CirquePlus program. It's been just such an incredible program. It's really helped me a lot with my strength as an aerialist. I really love how doable the workouts are. You can do them before or after your training session. It's just amazing. Even from like the beginning of one workout to the end of one workout, you like already feel stronger. It's been so helpful, and I have no reservations about recommending it to anyone, anywhere, ever.
Janet is great. I love her enthusiasm. So let's go over some frequently asked questions. The first is, what happens after I purchase? Once you sign up, you'll immediately receive an email with an access link to set up your CirquePlus credentials. You'll be able to access your content on the CirquePlus app, either on your phone or on your browser. And from there, you'll be able to access all the Vertical Breakthrough System content as well as some sweet bonuses. Next question is, when can I start my 6-week challenge? And because the 6-week challenge is self-guided, you can start anytime and repeat it whenever you want, as many times as you want. You'll have the option of opting into a 6-week challenge reminder emails. These are totally optional, but recommended if you need that extra push of accountability. The sign up for that is within the app. If you do that, your challenge will officially start on the following Monday. Next question is, how long will I have access to the content? And the good news is you will have access to the Vertical Breakthrough System indefinitely, or as long as it exists on the internet. Next question, will I get one-on-one access to Allie, to me? So the answer is no. The content in the Vertical Breakthrough System is self-directed. However, if you tag me on Instagram with a question, I'm likely to answer and offer feedback. I love seeing what you're doing and to be your hype girl. Last question, what if I've already done a CirquePlus challenge? Can I still get this offer? If you've already done a challenge with me and you want to take advantage of this one-time payment bundle, definitely reach out and I'll hook you up. The program is constantly evolving and the offer is changing, and I am committed to accommodating and hook up my early adopters. All right, so here's what's included in the Vertical Breakthrough System. The CirquePlus 6-week challenge that includes over 100 unique conditioning workouts is valued at $297, but I couldn't resist to over-deliver and throw in some sweet bonuses. First of all is the Building Blocks Library. And the Building Blocks Library is a separate program within the app that will help you understand vertical theory and build a foundation of skills. For me, building blocks are like the aerial Lego, the pieces that fit together to build our sequencing. These include hip key, hip lock, catcher's S-wrap, inside seatbelt, and outside seatbelt. The library of video tutorials breaks down each of these building blocks by level, offering different entries into them and pointing out the relationships between them. So the goal with the tutorial library is to give you the tools to inform your own creative sequencing. So Jess says, I love Allie's approach to presenting aerial movement in a logical flow that makes sense for brain and body. It's a really fun way of delivering technique with creativity, or like building your best castle with aerial Lego bricks. So the Building Blocks Library is valued at $147, but I'm also including the Choreo Creation Masterclass and Sequence Builder. I want to give you the tools early on to understand what elements are making up our creative sequencing, and this masterclass goes into the nitty-gritty of how to identify and utilize your building blocks. This recorded masterclass gives you a behind-the-scenes look at how I approach creative sequencing and includes a nifty sequence builder. You can input transitions into the sequence builder from your own aerial vocabulary, and this sexy Google Sheet will populate a choose-your-own-adventure style sequence builder, pulling from your unique brilliance. If you've ever felt like you have a large skill set but it feels unorganized, this tool will guarantee that you'll never feel uninspired when creating content for an act or teaching a class ever again. I have one more bonus for you, and when you sign up for the Vertical Breakthrough System, I'm going to include 2 months free access to the CirquePlus Phrase Vault. So the Phrase Vault is a private Instagram account that has sequences and tutorials on rope, fabric, and lyra. The tutorials offer a frame-by-frame breakdown of the tricky bits of these unique phrases of choreography. Most of them are presented by myself, but I also bring on guest coaches from within our community to spice things up. After your 2-month trial, you'll have continued access for $37 a month, and you can cancel anytime. New content is constantly being added weekly, and phrases often build upon each other. So for example, in 1 month you might get 4 standalone fabric phrases that can also be put together in a more substantial, meaty sequence. It's like having a weekly class that you can access and play with on your own time. With all these sweet bonuses, the value of what I'm offering here is $815. But don't worry, I don't intend to charge you that. I want you to take a moment and just consider if all I was offering was to give you a roadmap to build aerial specific strength that you could return to anytime you needed a kickstart in your training, would it be worth it? If all I was offering was to give you the tools to organize your aerial vocabulary and unlock creative sequencing, would it be worth it? And lastly, if all I was offering was to keep you inspired with new weekly content, would this program be worth it? When I created this program, I had two options. Option one was to go as cheap as possible and try to sell as many as possible. Option two requires a little higher investment from you, but in exchange, I'm able to provide more resources and tools to guarantee your success. I want you to succeed and be stoked on this content, so you can get started today for $297 for the whole enchilada. If you're ready to level up with CirquePlus, go to this link right here and you can get all set up. You could do it the old way. You could create your own training plan. You could keep learning fragmented pieces of sequencing off of Instagram. You can pay coaches one-on-one or go to classes that may not be convenient with your schedule. As I see it, you have two options. So first of all, you can do nothing and just keep doing what you're doing. I'm sure if you're disciplined, you'll make gains, but my experience from actually going through this myself is that I would see progress, but then lose momentum and end up feeling frustrated when I had to start over. Ask yourself, if you don't make a change and take action today, where do you see yourself with your training in a month's time? What about a year? And is that where you really want to be? Your other option is to take action with no risk attached. If you're still on the fence, I want to offer you a 30-day money-back guarantee because I'm so confident that you'll see results and will benefit from the resources in this program. I can offer this guarantee, and if you aren't completely satisfied with the quality of content, just reach out within 30 days for a full refund. Let me introduce you to Callie. She says, after just 2 weeks of the 6-week challenge, I'm feeling stronger. Let's see how ripped I can get in the next 4 weeks. I get messages like this all the time. Aerialists expressing their disbelief at how much they notice their stamina improving after just a few workouts. If you're feeling ready to level up with CirquePlus, go to this link and in 6 weeks you'll be glad you started. The truth is, I may take this offer down, or if I add content to it, the price may increase. So to lock in this offer at this price, be sure to take action today. Thanks for taking the time to watch this. I'm so excited to share this method and these resources to help you reach your circus goals. Go to this link to check out and level up with CirquePlus today.